Western Cape transport authorities say closing volatile taxi ranks and routes is the last resort to quell the violence. Since the start of the year, a surge in taxi violence has claimed more than 80 lives. Despite 12 new arrests this week and the SANDF being called in to assist the police, warring taxi groups refuse to call a truce. The provincial administration has already suspended funding to local operators as a result of the conflict. Officials say associations use the financial support to run up a war chest to hire hitmen in their fight to secure the most lucrative routes. What started as an isolated issue on the Paarl to Belleville route has now spilled over to other areas, leaving over 120,000 commuters stranded. In fresh flare-ups this week, even bus commuters and private staff transport vehicles have become targets. The taxi groups are currently refusing to comment. We're joined now by the Khayelitsha Development Forum's Ndithini Chito. Ndithini, thanks a lot for joining us. You are closely tied to the community. Can you paint a picture for us of how badly people have been affected in trying to get to work in the morning or getting back from work, should they manage to get out in the morning?
Good morning, and good morning to your listeners. The situation is still volatile, even though there is some relative lack of traffic congestion this morning. And the Khayelitsha Development Forum, under the direction of the Cape Metro Development Council, will today at 11 o'clock meet with Codeta in Khayelitsha with a simple call, really, silencing the guns. Our real interest as a community is not on the detail of what the association may be disagreeing about. Ours is simple: silence the gun, all else shall follow. Because the people of Khayelitsha are seriously compromised, more than just having to walk from where the buses drop them, but also the danger of being shot at inside buses, in private cars. And we are saying, if it's business that the people are fighting about, it can never be at the expense of these many lives.
Ndithini, you say you're going to meet with Codeta later today, but we've had Codeta and CATA sitting down with national government, provincial government, local government over the last few days. Nothing's come out of that meeting. What are you hoping to get out of your meeting today?
It's two things where we want to raise. Number one is that the mediators as well as government, it was an omission on their part not to include the voice of the commuter in the negotiations. We are going to Codeta as commuters to them, as a client to them. We made a deliberate choice of making their private taxis our public transport of choice. So we are going to them as a commuter, as a customer to them. Now, we don't want to entangle ourselves with what would have happened between them and government. We really want to keep this at a community level. We've made similar calls to other forums in Nyanga, Guguletu, Philippi, and Langa to also convene similar meetings with CATA, where CATA operates. So that the message we're taking to the taxi operators is that we are your customers, stop killing us, negotiate whatever you must negotiate, agree or disagree, but we must silence the guns.
Ndithini, I really do wish you all the best in that meeting, but I'm afraid I don't see whether you'd be able to convince them to care for their customers when, they're opening fire in full view of their customers at taxi ranks. How are you going to be able to do that?
Give us this opportunity to present our own case in our own way to them. We are not government. We don't have incentives for them, but we are saying we must try and find one another, because at the end of the day, after the minibus taxi has switched off the engine, the driver and the owner is a resident. So structures such as the KDF are residence forums. So beyond them, after 5 o'clock when they go home, beyond the guns and everything else, they become their residents. They are just simple residents like me and you. So we are engaging on those bases.
Well, Ndithini, I really hope you manage to make some headway. We're hoping that we can see an end to this violence and people putting down their guns. So we wish you all that best in that meeting later today with Codeta. That was Khayelitsha Development Forum's Ndithini Chito.